Hello everyone. In the previous video we discussed about non-cyclic photophosphorylation. आज हम बात करेंगे cyclic photophosphorylation. But before discussing, I just want to give you a quick recap of the last video. We know that photosynthesis occurs in two steps. जैसा मैंने आपको लास्ट वीडियो में बताया था, light reaction and dark reaction. Now light reaction is also called as photophosphorylation. Photophosphorylation could be occurred in two pathways. One is non-cyclic photophosphorylation and the other is cyclic photophosphorylation. So last video mein we studied about non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Now in this video we'll discuss about cyclic photophosphorylation. Right? चलिए start करते हैं. देखो अब ये पिक्चर से तुम सब बहुत अच्छे से familiar हो. तुम्हारी किताब NCERT से पिक्चर मैंने ली है ये. एंड दिस पिक्चर इज टॉक अबाउट साइक्लिक फोटोफॉस्फोराइलेशन. दो तीन चीज़ें आपको याद रखनी है साइक्लिक फोटोफॉस्फोराइलेशन के अबाउट. That is number one, it only includes one photosystem. When we discussed about non-cyclic, there I told you that non-cyclic involve both photosystem 2 and 1, and it initiates from the photosystem 2. लेकिन जब हम cyclic की बात करते हैं तो only one photosystem involved, that is photosystem 1. As soon as light energy falls on it, it gets excited, liberates a pair of electrons. It is been accepted by its primary electron acceptor. Then when it comes down the gradient level, it passes through different electron acceptors which comprises of electron transport system and come back to its reaction center. Right? So this is your NCERT picture. Now in this electron transport system को थोड़ा सा modify पढ़ेंगे हम. In the next one, we'll see that what are the different electron acceptor through which electron passes, and finally it is accepted by its reaction center, that is chlorophyll A, which is P700 because it absorbs the wavelength of 700 nanometers. चलिए इसी की बात कर रही थी मैं आपसे. नाउ दिस इज द मॉडिफाइड वर्जन ऑफ द पिक्चर विच इज गिवन इन योर NCERT अबाउट cyclic photophosphorylation. Now as you can see in the picture, when light falls onto the reaction center of the photosystem 1, which is of 700 nanometers because it absorbs the wavelength of 700 nanometers. Respective, the accessory pigments also absorb their respective wavelength. The reaction center also absorbs their wavelength, which is 700. Now when all these pigments going to absorb the wavelength, it get excited to their high energy level. The reaction center get excited to their high energy level and liberates a pair of electrons. Excitement में क्या करेगा reaction center? A pair of electrons get released. Now when this electron pair get released, it is being accepted then by the primary electron acceptor. तो अब हमें थोड़ा सा ये ध्यान रखना है कि what is its primary electron acceptor. This is ferredoxin reducing substance. Now, once it is accepted by its primary electron acceptor, it comes down the gradient level. And when it comes down the gradient level, it is being accepted by the different electron acceptor. Finally, it reaches to its own reaction center. Now, what are the electron acceptors are present in the electron transport chain? From ferredoxin reducing substance, it will then move to ferredoxin. From ferredoxin, it will then move to PQ, that is plastoquinone. From plastoquinone, as you can see, it will then passes to, from here it passes to ferredoxin, from ferredoxin to plastoquinone, from plastoquinone to, it will passes to cytochrome complex. Now you know cytochrome complex basically comprises of two proteins. First is CYT cytochrome B6 and the other is cytochrome F. So from plastoquinone it will then passes to cytochrome complex, which comprises of cytochrome B6 and F. From cytochrome complex, it then passes to another electron acceptor, which is PC, and PC is plastocyanin. from plastocyanin, it reaches to its own reaction center, that is chlorophyll A, which absorbs the wavelength of 700 nanometers. So what we are trying to portray, after passing the different electron acceptors, finally it reaches to its own reaction center. That is why we say it is which kind of photophosphorylation? It is cyclic photophosphorylation. So this is important to know that why it is called as cyclic photophosphorylation, because the electron which is being released by its reaction center come back to its after passing through different electron acceptors. Now when we discussed about non-cyclic photophosphorylation, वहाँ हम जानते हैं बात कि when electron pair releases from the photosystem 2, which initiates a process, it never come back to its chlorophyll A. It never come back to its reaction center. Finally, rather from PS2 it will give up to PS1. From PS1 finally it reaches to synthesize the reducing power, that is NADH2. Right? So here when it releases, it come back to it after passing through different electron transport chain. Now one thing which is you have to remember about cyclic photophosphorylation, सबसे पहली बात हम ये याद रखेंगे, क्योंकि इसमें कोई भी हमें compensatory mechanism नहीं चाहिए. Photosystem 2 में when an electron pair releases, it continuously releases because it never come back to it. So there we need a compensatory mechanism to compensate the lost pair of electrons. But here there is nothing like that, because when it passes from the reaction center, it come back to its own reaction center. That means in cyclic photophosphorylation, there is no need of photolysis of water. भाई फोटोलाइसिस ऑफ वाटर से ही तो कॉम्पनसेशन होता था आपके इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर का फ्रॉम द रिएक्शन सेंटर ऑफ PS2 इन नॉन साइक्लिक, बट यहाँ पे हमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं चाहिए. सो देयर विल बी नो फोटोलाइसिस ऑफ वाटर. नंबर वन, बिकॉज देयर इज नो फोटोलाइसिस ऑफ वाटर, देयर इज नो ऑक्सीजन विच इज इवॉल्व इन केस ऑफ साइक्लिक फोटोफॉस्फोराइलेशन. सो नो oxygen evolve. Now another a very important point. Now then why is this occurring in the plants? Because आप picture में जैसे देख सकते हो, here the plants will synthesize its chemical energy in two ways, है ना. दो जगह आपकी एनर्जी सिंथेसाइज हो रही है. when the electron pair passes from ferretoxin to PQ, it releases a certain amount of energy. That energy is used up to combine ADP and IP, inorganic phosphate, to synthesize ATP from when the electron pair passes from the ferretoxin to plastoquinone. Second time when it passes to cytochrome complex, that is from cytochrome B6 to cytochrome F, then also ADP combines with inorganic phosphate to synthesize ATP. That means at two places ATP is synthesized in case of cyclic photophosphorylation. जब हम non-cyclic की बात कर रहे थे, there I told you only when the electron pair passes through the cytochrome complex, it releases energy. Cytochrome complex then synthesize chemical energy, that is ATP. But here at two places we can say that ATP is synthesized. That means यहाँ पर क्या है आपका ATP synthesized. Now because electron pair when releases come back to its reaction center, there will be no synthesis of reducing power. Very important note, यहाँ पे आपकी reducing power will not synthesis. तो हम fourth point क्या लिखेंगे? No synthesis of reducing power, that is NADH2. Right? So these are some points that you have to keep it in mind for cyclic photophosphorylation. One more, आपसे पूछ सकते हैं कि where is this process occurring in plants? What is actually the site of this phenomena? तो site कहाँ पर है? कहाँ पर ये आपका continuously plants में process चलता है? This is stroma lamella. Right? This is stroma lamella. तो ये चीज़ें हमें थोड़ी सी याद रखनी है. These points you have to be, these things you should know about cyclic photophosphorylation. No photolysis of water, no oxygen is evolved. Rather, only ATP is synthesized. no reducing power is synthesized, and actual site of this process, which is stroma lamellae. So this is about cyclic photophosphorylation. Now in the next video, we'll discuss about the difference between cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So that's all. Stay tuned.